I ever saw Jeremiah again, I'd probably end up putting him in the hospital, beating him that bad.
Jeremiah Raber's time in the spotlight has been pretty chaotic since he burst onto the scene with Breaking Amish.
I hate that mother.
But the truth about his most notorious moments might shock you. You'll never believe what happened to him after the show and what he's up to today. Since Breaking Amish first appeared on TLC back in 2013, Jeremiah has struggled to deal with the trappings of fame, and it has led him into some seriously wild situations. Along with the rest of the cast, Jeremiah was offered the chance to see modern-day America on a trip to New York City. The cast were then asked if they wanted to permanently ditch their Amish lifestyles, which Jeremiah decided to do. During the show's run, Jeremiah was seen as the bad boy of the series. Since leaving his Amish roots behind and joining the modern world, he has had his fair share of rocky relationships and social media scandals. After avoiding technology for decades, Jeremiah gained a sizable online following, but sometimes this has not worked out in his favor. In October 2017, Jeremiah went on a bizarre rant against his estranged wife, Camila Mendez. He accused her of stealing $16,000 from him following the sale of their home before she left him. The rant appeared in a video that Jeremiah posted on Facebook, which he later deleted. He claimed in the video that following the sale of the property, Carmela put the check in her purse, and when Jeremiah went out to pay the electric bill, his wife just took off. However, it was difficult to know just how much of the reality star's rant could be believed, especially since he deleted it soon after. Following that, Jeremiah posted a second video on YouTube in which he completely changed his story. That video was also soon deleted. After 6 years on Breaking Amish, Jeremiah tried his hand at vlogging by starting his own YouTube channel, and some of the stuff that he has shared on the platform has been pretty crazy. His most popular video to date shocked fans with the title, "My Wife Cheated." However, it turned out that all Carmela had done was cheated on her diet. But as we already know, their marriage had plenty of truly insane moments before their split, and sometimes things got really ugly. In April 2017, a few months before their breakup, Jeremiah was actually arrested for DV. He reportedly got into a verbal argument with Carmela in which he allegedly made several threats to cause her harm. Carmela claimed that she was left with several large bruises on her arms and legs caused by her husband. When he was later confronted about his arrest, Jeremiah told Raber that the real truth would come out in the end. He went on to allege that it was actually he who had been harmed by Carmela. In August of that same year, he shared the news in a Periscope video that he and Carmela were getting a divorce. He also revealed in his tirade that he had kicked her out of the home, stating that he had finally gotten smart. Although he claimed in the video that he was done with Carmela forever, things looked pretty different in 2021. They appeared to still be together going into the 6th season of their show. However, their marriage was not to last, with Jeremiah again announcing their split in March 2022. This time his announcement was much less outrageous. He simply told fans that it just didn't work out. However, the truth was a little darker than Jeremiah made it out to be. The breakup was announced a few weeks after Carmela filed a restraining order against Jeremiah, but this wasn't the first time Jeremiah has had problems with an ex. Before marrying Carmela in 2016, he was married to Naomi Suitsman. Since their split, they had both been pretty open about how they felt about each other. In 2019, Jeremiah suggested that he wasn't on the best terms with Naomi, who he did not have a lot of communication with. He also had very little communication with the kids he shared with Naomi. In fact, he allegedly doesn't even live in the same state as them anymore. It has been reported that his son and 2 daughters live with Naomi full time. They have only briefly featured on their dad's TV show, and he has only mentioned them a few times online. In 2015, he took to Facebook to reject claims that he was a deadbeat dad. But in January 2019, Naomi accused him of allegedly owing more than $10,000 in child support. She shared a screenshot with a Facebook fan group for Breaking Amish, which broke down Jeremiah's debt to her. His relationship with his kids now has not been widely reported on, but stories about Jeremiah's own childhood have recently come to light, and you will not believe what has been said about his insane upbringing. He was actually adopted into the Amish lifestyle as a baby. During a quest to find out more about his ancestry, Jeremiah learned some shocking new information. Allegedly, his aunt took the life of his biological dad while he was asleep. Tragically, Jeremiah came to the conclusion that she probably did that because of him. For around 20 years, he had believed that his father was a man named Dennis, but this was disproven, and a recent DNA test. But there was even more shocking revelations to come. Jeremiah learned that his biological mom cheated on Dennis with his father, who turned out to be his sister's husband, a man named Larry. A year after Jeremiah was born, his real dad passed away, and his wife found out that he had a baby with her sister. More details were revealed in a newspaper clipping published in December 1981. The cutting was a report on Sheila Hatabito, who was charged and imprisoned after fatally injuring her husband. She reportedly hurt Larry once in the chest, and he passed away 2 hours later in the hospital. The insane story had a huge effect on how Jeremiah saw himself. He had been curious about his true ancestry for years after finding out that he had some Native American DNA. But after learning the haunting truth, Jeremiah started blaming himself for what happened to Larry, as Sheila only attacked him after finding out that Jeremiah existed. But honestly, it seemed totally unfair for Jeremiah to hold himself responsible for any of the crazy situations surrounding his birth. Following the end of the 6th season of the show and his second divorce, Jeremiah's life started spiraling further and further out of control. He suffered a health scare that landed him in the hospital, which turned out to be a lot more serious than anyone realized. He was diagnosed with diabetic ketoacidosis. In a Facebook Live session, he admitted that he was in an intensive care unit for at least 2 days. He had originally been told that he would leave the unit after just a day, as his insulin levels were looking good. But when the doctors realized that all the other rooms were full, he was forced to stay where he was. Jeremiah went on to say that staying at the hospital was driving him insane, so he checked himself out of the hospital against medical advice. Since then, Jeremiah has been forced to find new work away from the limelight. He now lives in New Commercetown, Ohio, where he sells his own line of Tupperware. His business, called Jeremiah's Tupperware, is available to order online and through social media. He also sells a whole range of merchandise such as t-shirts, cushions, and even face masks. Many of his products feature inspirational quotes alongside his own logo. However, he wasn't off our screens for long. The 7th season of the show had apparently already been filmed in 2022. In an update to his fans on Facebook, Jeremiah said that the cast was just waiting for TLC to decide when to put the show out. When it finally aired, we learned all about the incredible truth about Jeremiah's past. But what do you guys think? Did you know just how wild Jeremiah's life really was? And did it make the right decision to leave his Amish life behind to join the 21st century? Let me know in the comments below.